So hello. I put a video on my YouTube channel earlier, a couple of days ago about, it was called I Believe in God, and I do believe in God, and sometimes I come across a certain way which I don't really want to be I don't want to be that way. I don't want to be, sometimes my mind feels like it's, well, I hear things and mostly they're for the good, but sometimes when I'm painting they say I'm like the shittest artist ever and that I never amount to anything, and they basically taunt me sometimes, and it's very depressing really and degrading. But I want to say something, and my hand has been forced to say this because someone is acting through me who hypnotised me on a phone call in 2009, or someone very similar to her. And I'm fed up of it really, so I'm going to record this video because I sent information about what I believe is the cure to cancer to the RI, and the cure to cancer, I believe, is an SAD light used during the day. That's especially for when you can't get out, when people with the illness can't get out, but getting as much sunlight as possible and eating lots of green, taking vitamin D slightly above the average dosage, and eating lots of green leafy vegetables like kale. And someone's interrupting in my head, which is really quite depressing really. Rape of the mind is such a terrible thing. And yeah, so vegetables like kale, sometimes broccoli, and having lettuce in sandwiches, and just, I think what happens is that it's my own personal belief that the mutated cells do not have what I believe happens is that when you're exposed to light, which is always good, and then when you have high doses of vitamin D, it allows the cells to become breathable again with the help of chlorophyll. And the kale and green leafy vegetables help with this because they detoxify the mutated cells. And I think ways of dealing with cancer that we currently have are so wrong, because they're not wrong, they help in some cases. They help in lots of cases, but they don't help in every case, because chemotherapy and radiotherapy it's directed at one part of the body, but it affects the whole body, and it's kind of like a very primitive cure to such a horrible illness. And I think that there should be different ways of dealing with this horrible disease, cancer. Now in the 21st century, there should be lots of there should be new ways of dealing with this. And I think a way to deal with this is to get out as much as possible in the sun, but cancer patients can't always do that. They're inside a lot of the time, so get an SAD lamp, take plenty of chlorophyll, and combined with this vitamin D, and eat lots of green leafy vegetables, especially kale, because the mutated cells of cancer are kind of like, I imagine them as being quite close together and kind of like not working properly. So if you eat lots of green leafy vegetables and combined with light therapy, as I call it, and I've heard that from somewhere else, which is why I call it that, combined with the chlorophyll and light therapy, you might notice an improvement. And I really hope people do notice improvement, because people I think ways of dealing with things in the past, Einstein said the ways of dealing with the problems of today are to raise your level of thinking raise your level of thinking above the problem, not above the problem, but to raise your level of thinking to a different level than on which the problem is. And I really think that could help someone, this information which I'm sharing, and that is why I'm sharing it, because I think it could help someone. And people do not deserve to die of such horrible diseases. I wrote something and I want to read it. It's called Cures. Why can't we have cures for every major disease on earth? Why do people have to die? Why do children have to die young? If we can stop this, we have a moral obligation to help people, not to stand by the wayside and see people die. I'm doing my best, but I know that I could help. And I could help in one person can make a difference, but to be honest with you, I lack a lot of confidence. But why can't there be cures for every major disease on earth? Why can't there? Because one day there will be. One day there will be. And things like overpopulation, that's not even in the pitch. That's not even anything to do with the current reality. We have to help people people need help. I want to help where I can. That's a basic human obligation, and I am doing my best. We must help each other. That's all there is to it. Why can't we have cures? People help. Why can't we have cures for every major disease on earth? I mean, really, why can't we? Because cancer is it's such a horrible disease. And this got me thinking, actually, and I put people help the people underneath this and my artist name. But I think to myself, my sister's boyfriend's brother's daughter is 12 years old, and she has kidney disease or something like kidney disease, and she's on dialysis every single night. And I think to myself, that poor girl is her body she's in so much pain, and it is so horrible to have to sit by the wayside and see that happen to someone. It is horrible. I don't know her personally, but I know her story, and I think it's depressing that we live in a society where children get diseases and no one help. There's not the help available. There is the help available. Like, for example, she's on dialysis, but I asked my sister the other day. I texted her and said, could I find out about donating a kidney to help this poor girl, and I would donate a kidney in a heartbeat, to be honest with you. I'd be shit scared, but I would help her. I would donate a kidney, and but why can't there be cures for cancer? Why can't there be? It's just, why do young people have to get cancer? It's so depressing. It's so depressing, and that poor girl who's related to my sister's boyfriend is in so much pain, and she doesn't deserve that. She's just a little girl. She deserves to be living her life, playing outside and having a nice life. And it's very sad, really. People don't deserve to go through that. It makes me sad, and if I could help in any way, then I would. And I think that's a moral human obligation, that people have to help each other. So take care, people. People need to help other people. So take care. Bye.